If you want to know why I don't work in nurseries anymore, then this video is for you. Number one is an obvious one, that is the pay. I just don't think that it matches up for the job responsibility. You have other people's children's lives in your hands. If you make a mistake in any part of the job, medicines, first aid, there is a huge responsibility, and you're paid the same as someone that just stacks shelves in Tesco's. No offence to people that work in Tesco's. I've worked in retail. I understand that's a hard job, but the fact that working in nurseries is, people can't go to work without us, and that is other people's children we have to look after. So it's an important job. Number two is the long hours. I got fed up with it. I know that other jobs are quite long, depending on what you're doing, but I found that, it was even just the overtime. You never left on time. You're expected to do overtime. The fact that in that job, ratios become way more important than you do as an employee. You're expected to stay. And if you don't do that, then it's because you don't love the job. Parents' evening, staff meetings, open days, first aid training at the weekend. It just felt like it was never ending. Like I was always at work for a job that literally paid me minimum wage, if not a bit above that. It's not worth it, in my opinion. Number three is how toxic nurseries can be to work in. I know I'll get the comment, not all nurseries, but I guess that depends on what kind of person you are as well, because some people that will say that, I will have in the back of my mind, maybe you're one of the cliquey girls at nursery and that's why you're happy in the job, but not everybody is. The rumours, like if you were going to the toilet often, it would be spread around that you're pregnant, even if you've just got a UTI and you just don't want to tell anyone. Everybody knew everybody's business and everybody felt like they needed to talk about everybody behind their backs. And toxic management. It's one of those jobs where, and I know people will say it's that at most jobs. It's not, because it's all women, and we all know that there's gossiping, talking about each other, and then being fakey nice to people. I'm not very good at being like that, so I'm very much, you can see it on my face. So yeah. Number four is sickness. They will come down on you so hard if you even have one day of sickness, even though to me, it is a job where you're going to pick up more sickness than any other job. Okay, hand, foot and mouth. They're allowed to come in with hand, foot and mouth. It's highly contagious. They can't exclude for it. But some people actually genuinely get really ill with it to the point that they can't walk because they have so many on the bottom of the soles of their feet. And if you take a day off, that's held against you, even though you wouldn't have picked that up any other job. So yeah. Number four was becoming a mum. So I noticed that if you're a paying parent, if anyone's watching this that doesn't work in nurseries, you'll be well aware that when your children are sick, you're usually told to come and pick them up as soon as possible, and they have to be off for 48 hours. If you're a parent that works in a nursery, that rule just goes way out the window, because they know that they're going to have to send you home, and they don't have the numbers to do that. So it ends up being that when you're a parent that works in nurseries, majority of the time you are treated very differently to like normal parents. And people just seem to think that it's okay to make them bring their sick children in, but anybody else, the parent would be called straight away and you'd be told to come pick them up. Number five, I don't even know where we've got up to now, but I'm presuming it's that, is annual leave. I understand again that it's hard to get annual leave in any other job, but I just feel like nurseries make up random rules all of the time. There are 2 off at a time, only 2 people off at a time, when they have over the amount of staff that doesn't work. There's physically not enough days in the year for them to keep this rule in place, but they'll change it for whoever it suits. It just doesn't make any sense. And finally, number 6 is the favouritism that's in nurseries. Again, I've worked in retail and I've never noticed it as bad as this, really. Actually, I don't think I've ever noticed it at all in retail. In nurseries, I think pretty much every single nursery I've worked at, there's always been that one person that is never in the room and they're always in the office and they always get away with it. There's always someone in the nursery that the manager just loves, that gets away with everything, gets what they want, Usually, sometimes I've noticed that the manager's favourites are not very nice to other members of staff, but for some reason they just get away with it because managers love them. So yeah, those are my reasons. I just thought I'd put this video out because I do get asked this quite a lot, even though I've done quite a few videos as to reasons why I don't work in childcare. Feel free to put in the comments why you don't work in childcare anymore or why you do. I do understand that it's a rewarding job and it's a beautiful job, but I did feel like I got very tired of having to, argue everything. I felt like everything was an argument with management, like why I would be off sick even though they'd send me home because my child was ill, and then they'd pull me in the office and be like, you're on an attendance plan, even though I'm classed as a dependent. I'm not sure they were able to do that. They would just break rules all of the time, and I felt like I had to go and do my research, go and speak to people for legal advice, and then go back to them and be like, yeah, you can't do this. And it was all of the time, and it was very exhausting. But again, that might be a very individual problem to me, and that might not be for everybody. Some people might just go, yeah, that's fine, and not really argue it. But I'm obviously the person that would argue my case. So yeah, those are my reasons. Just thought I'd put that video out there.